I'm ready. Hey, how's it going, AfterBuzzers? Today we're talking about episode 3, Out of Time, on the Time After show. And, man, there's some interesting things that happened on this episode. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, it's a sexy time music. Well, not really, because then we learn it doesn't quite go the way John planned. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Time After show. My name is Kari Lane, and we're talking about episode 3 today, Out of Time. And you can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's Karidlane. And if you're watching this live, welcome. Please join the chat room. And this is a gesture for those of you watching it later. Comment down below what your thoughts are on the episode. And I'm joined by my awesome co-host.
Hey guys, I'm Chae Jones. You can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram. And this episode was awesome. Opening of just a shirtless Sean is just the best episode.
Right?
Ever.
I'm all shirtless again.
Yay! He's come I think he's just come a long way from Revenge Days. I'm just like, dude, your body is just on point. Like, thank you.
Well, you know, if you worked that hard for it, show it off, right?
That
Come
is
on.
true. Go
And
ahead.
equal opportunity objectification here of like, all right, if we're gonna have ladies shown on TV all the time, let's have some dudes shown off. I noticed him looking at his clothes, and I'm like, you know, I think he really digs modern fashion. He was like having so much fun picking out his outfit.
No, I loved how he like changed, like, okay, this blue I don't really think goes. I'm gonna change to the white shirt.
Yeah, he's like,
no.
no.
I think he's right. I'm with you. He's fascinated by all these, just like this different fashion, the suits, the
loves it.
watches.
Yes. And we find out, surprise, surprise, he's broken into somebody's house and he murders them.
Well, technically,
Yay.
He didn't break in.
Oh, that's
she invited
true.
him
Sure, because
home.
who wouldn't invite that lovely man in? But come on,
Me.
some ladies would be like, no, come on, or gentlemen too. I don't know if he hasn't tried to kill any men yet.
Yeah, he did. He killed the roommate.
Oh well, I meant lured.
Oh,
Like lure them. He hasn't quite done that.
that's not his style. I think his
No,
style is
but-
mostly just women.
Yeah. He needs to learn modern society. That would be one. He could, play both sides if he really wants to kill that many people.
Especially in
Sorry,
New
that
York.
sounds horrible, but
Especially
it's
in
one
New
of
York.
those- yeah.
Not trying to be funny, but especially in New York.
Yeah. We learned that the time machine has moved to Vanessa's home. Now, this is back with the discussion, which thank you so much for so many of you commenting on the last video of our, so wait, how does the time machine move? So now if it's in Vanessa's home, where will it go to? And, I mean, you'd come back to that location, but can you only go back in time from where Vanessa's location is? We'll find out, because the next episode they actually time travel. I mean, it's one of those where we're not quite sure yet, because they're still laying out the groundworks of what are the rules for this time travel show, which is good. I'm glad they get into it, because then speaking of which, they're like, oh my gosh, we can fix it because we have the okay, I was like, so good trying to say it, and I'm like, nope, Alexandrite gemstone that is the heart and soul, and they explain it, which I was like, good explanation, because it's one of those, I don't care what your rules are on time travel or monster show, whatever have you, as long as you go, these are my rules, and then you stick by them, then you can make up whatever you want.
I like how Martin's like, he built a laser back in like the first person basically to build a laser.
Yeah. Oh, that character was interesting.
That was actually
too.
really all like he knows the secrets. I'm just like,
oh, I'm a little suspicious about him too.
How many confidentiality agreements did you have to sign before? Be real. How many confidentialities did you have to sign before you were even allowed in that ballroom?
Right. Well, Mr. HG's all smile and flirty when Jane walks in the room. I'm like, damn, he's falling hard and
I
fast.
love it.
It's so adorable.
I think it's just because where he's from, it does go fast, and this actually he finds a woman in a different time, and that he actually really clicks with, which he did not click with his ex-wife.
I beg to differ with how fast they went back then. It'd be a long courtship, probably.
No, it depended on who set it up.
Well,
it was the
that's true
dad
if it's how much of an arranged marriage or not. Well, I think he's just fascinated by her and modern time. And
I just loved his speech.
Oh my gosh, kudo points.
Can I please I'm taking boyfriend applications.
Oh,
just
He's adorbs and
Just like legit, like that's what you need to be talking about. Like I need you to be on that level of matureness, or you're like, I don't know, he just on the sweetness, and I love it.
Good point. We didn't really talk about it, but Casket fan says, I love when John was trying to work the microwave. That was but see, that was a good way to have a character not know technology and just be like, microwave with X, microwave, and then like going around and then
a toaster.
Toaster. He's like, no, that doesn't look like it works, and then microwave and just like, oh, it opens. And then it seems self-explanatory of like numbers and start. But the weird thing that I was like, wait a minute. One, I didn't think you'd probably microwave whatever, the little burrito thing in the plastic. You generally take it out of the plastic. So that's one thing. And then two, he bit into it right away. I don't know how many of you have bit into a microwave thing right away and it burns. So you're like,
I really just think it was like a lot of adrenaline. He just killed somebody. So he's really feeling that adrenaline. Or he like, I feel like sometimes with Jack or John, whatever, is the very supernaturalness something within him. Because like, there is no way.
He's hungry after some killing.
After you get tased. I'm like, but we said like like people get affected different ways by being tased in different situations. So maybe he just has a heightened level of pain he can tolerate or something like that.
And then some people do a better tolerance of temperature on food. Like I've had it where I'm like, oh, it's too hot for me. And then whoever I'm hanging out with is like, I can eat it right now. And I'm like, okay, I need like 5 minutes for my tea to cool down or something. Do you need an ice cube? And so John calls Jane and they have their little kind of bit. But when John's walking out, the ginger dude is following him, who we learn later is Chad. So like, oh, we get a name. But he doesn't last that long. And again, he's a horrible tale. He's like, I am so obviously following you right now. And you're just
like look,
oh my gosh.
Somebody look in my eyes. He's like, like, dude, I can see you looking out the corner of your eye, watching me. Like, come on.
Yeah. He should have like ducked down another aisle, come back out. No,
turn back around,
or walk past him, because then it'll make it look like you're not following them. If you keep walking, I walk, stop. Walk, stop. But if you just like kept going,
it kind of throws him off.
Man, this guy's he's just
like we said,
it.
he's terrible. So sorry about his death, but dude, like you're a terrible tracker.
Oh yeah.
I hope that is not your given profession. Before whatever you're living in this shitty apartment, you have an old 70s TV, which I'm just like, that TV looks like something my parents used to watch. Like, not even joking. Like one of those like half-colored type TVs that's just like a box. Yeah. A small, like, it was kind of funny, but I was just like, why am I just noticing this TV though? Why is the TV
I was
just
gonna say, I'm like, I don't think I even noticed this TV.
It was right after the picture. That's why I was just like, it could look like the camera just stopped on the, like, as he's leaving on that TV. So I'm just like,
yeah, and then Jared in chat agrees. Yes, he was terrible. Yeah. It's one of those like, it's bad. Then we have...
What killer has a name, Chad?
Yeah, right? It's not a very exciting name.
I love that, Ivan. Thank you.
Then we get introduced to a new character. We get Martin Scott, which I'm just thinking Star Trek, Scotty. And I'm like, not really, but that's the first thing I was thinking
I mean, he is like a quantum mechanic. He has theoretical physics in him. So, I mean, that, in a sense, I think that maybe that's like a little homage to it, a little bit, maybe?
Maybe. But then we don't know how long Vanessa had talked to him and prepped him, but I'm like, man, he's a quick believer in the H.G. Wells and whole time machine thing.
He's such a fangirl. I loved it.
Yeah, he's like, oh my gosh, I read all your books and everything. But I love
especially
that.
Especially the 1933 version. Like,
and this is, I've seen the movies, and he's like, what's movies? But that was cool. Like, that was a nice, that was a moment to have a character not from our time period point that out without it being like stupid. You just kind of go like, I don't know what that thing is, and someone explained, and then it's quick.
He's like a moving picture, because like even in 1893 they didn't have that. So and then she's like, it's kinetic,
the device, something. Yeah, and he's like, oh, okay, cool.
That makes sense.
And Martin Scott's a quick learner there. Also, props to the show of continuing to have a bit of diversity on casting. Because so far only our men from England and Griffin have been like the whitest white people. Oh well, then we have Chad, who's a ginger. So then he's very white.
He could be Irish-ish. I mean, you're white, but it could be like he could have something.
But I mean, with like Jane, Vanessa, and Martin, and then Paul today was our white guy too. But anyway, I like the diversity of casting of these random people popping up that you're like, yay, variety. Then speaking of Vanessa, we have her and her husband. They're like
their boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, we husband.
That was like something in the chat. Like nobody could figure out what he was, and they actually said like so they're dating, and they have been dating for 2 years.
Yes, and then yes, I did mention. Thank you, Ivan. Yes, I did mention Jane. Yeah, she's I looked up on IMDb. She's actually Venezuelan and something else too, which I was like, that's rather interesting. Then that interesting little interview. And
that woman was on a grind. Like, I have to give props. Like, that
No, she's
interviewer.
a good reporter. She's like, I got this question. All right, moving
But like
on.
no, it wasn't that she got the question. It was like she didn't get the answer she wanted. So like she kind of like had to like refocus a little bit, and then like it was you could just that was her body language. It was like I really just paid attention most in that whole scene was the body language.
Yeah.
Especially like when Vanessa was touching, like it's like a nervous thing, and that's why she looked. And she looked. She's like,
Yeah.
I don't like that answer you just gave me. But action speaks louder than words, and then like a whole explosion. So I can't even, ask you why you just touched your your tail. Basically, you gave yourself away.
Yeah.
But it was an awesome interview.
There's the
For what it was.
Yes, but the explosion interrupts it, and she's like, yeah, honey, you stay here. Bye. Peace out.
I gotta go.
And then, the time machine, the most important part of the time machine, the gem, is broken. And you're like, man, you need a backup plan, HD. You need something else instead of just... But it makes sense, like, their explanation of how it works and everything, but... Because of the power surge...
And it needs I agree that it makes sense because the gem especially can hold an enough amount of temperature. Mm-hmm. Especially depending on what the gem you need is. So that makes a lot of sense in my head.
It's probably also more wattage power now than when you use it the first time.
Okay.
So it's like if you're anywhere plugging your phone in somewhere, and then when you go work on set as background, plenty of people plug in their phones onto the crew's little plug-in.
Oh,
the
giant
electrical... don't do
electrical...
that, guys, because you can blow your phone, and or it's just...
Oh, really?
Well, it can have too much power and like charge it / burn it out.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a different kind of thing.
Did not know that. Learn things every day.
Well, that's why they also are like, don't plug in your phone there.
It's happening time or two, so I can admit.
Then we get a fun introduction of the character Brooke with John. And that was fun. We have, their little flirty thing on the, that swap meet marketplace, which was cool. You guys are discussing the tailing of Chad.
I know, Ivan's comment is awesome right now.
I know, but I like Cat. Okay, so Ivan goes, I think Chad being a bad tail is actually on purpose to show he's not a professional. But then Casket Fan says, I get that, but his tail was cringeworthy. Yes, it was really bad. I don't think it's on purpose. He's just doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, basically. You could tell he's amateur.
Yeah. Then we get back to Brooke and John. We'll continue what they have a bit. So I liked their
chemistry, though.
Oh, they got some good chemistry.
It was just sparking out.
Oh, yeah.
Like my carpal tunnel, just...
Oh, yeah, here, let me check that. And then, what's your thing? And then she calls him out because she's, able to go toe-to-toe with him. Because then they have their doctor bonding at lunch date, or their drinks date.
Martinis,
yes.
2 martinis, just, that was actually just, I don't know what it is about martinis. I think they're just power drinks for some reason. And, I feel like when you order one, you're just trying to, either show you have some power, or you're just trying to show you're sophisticated for some reason. Yeah. And the way she was just, hanging, that olive, she was like, yeah, I'm just gonna...
Oh, she's like, let me suggestively play with my olive,
yeah,
too.
I'm just gonna get it.
I know, I prefer a lemon drop martini, personally. But, they're... Just, her flirting with him is the first time in a while, or at all, we've seen him be like, oh, you're being flirty with me. We haven't really seen John be flirted with and actually feel like, oh, wow. She is being a doctor as well, and just, talking about his profession, and, no, when he's like, oh, I'm sorry. But she's like, no, I know plenty of surgeons, but you're the only one to be honest about it. And then he's like, oh.
I know. I like his intrigueness.
If he had long hair or he was a girl, he'd be twirling his hair. He's like, oh, gee, gosh, thanks.
I have a deadline, but I think I'll still make it. Just get those couple extra hours or so in.
It's fine.
I just love the fact that he's so intrigued by her.
Yes.
That. You're right. We've seen him flirt, and it's just basically charm. He's just charming girls left and right, but no one's actually. I would say besides Brooke. I mean, Bella, the girl, kind of. Before he killed her, they kind of had that a nice chemistry going too as well. But he's definitely he's just instantly intrigued and involved when it comes to Brooke.
Yeah,
especially after her hero complex.
He needed
to hear more.
Yeah,
he needs to know why.
It's refreshing to have that kind of a character. Then we have back to Jane and HG. They're like, oh, the gem's broken, but Jane knows a guy that knows
she knows
gems.
the guy, all right.
I know a guy. And besides, we dated, but I'm not going to tell you that until we get there later. And that's wonderfully awkward. Oh, yes, Chad, the other fun thing with him, first we get his name, then we meet his mom, which was like, oh, okay. But then they know about HG and John. The mom knew, so there's something history there. And this other person, Sam, can't know that Chad was there.
Because what I got from that whole scene was that Sam doesn't believe whatever his mom could have spouted the years or so about HG was. Like, he won't believe. Chad, however, believes in the clippings and all this other type of stuff because he believed it.
Yeah.
Like, the only one of her sons that actually, he's not taking care of her. And I mean, you can definitely tell the strife there was between them. I can't be here. He can't know.
I want to know more. Interesting chat comment. Billie Jean Girl says, what if the twist is the guy following HG is actually John and Brooke's son, and the old lady was future Brooke? I don't think she could be future Brooke because they both exist in the same timeline.
Yeah, I don't think too.
But I like the idea that maybe Chad could somehow be from the future and he's John and Brooke's kid. I'm okay with that theory. But he'd have to be from the future and come back to here. But he called that other person mom, so I'm like, no. But interesting idea.
I think it's hard for two I want to say time forces to be in the same timeline at the same time, no matter what age they are.
Sorry, they haven't done it?
No, I'm saying I think it's a little hard to actually have like two.
They haven't addressed that yet, if they do that or not on this show.
That's true. I mean, they could do it, and I would love to hear the explanation as to like how that was possible.
Yeah. So thank you, Casca fan. But aren't they all in the same period? Yeah, they are. Well, like time after on the Timeless After show, we talked about that you can't go to a timeline that you already exist in. Like you can't go to a time period where you're alive at all. So that was a rule they set. HG hasn't really talked about that yet. So that might be a later episode where they talk about that.
Actually, I think it would be interesting if you could visit. I mean, even if you couldn't change something that happened because of the ripple effect it could have, I would think it'd be awesome to travel back to a period of my time.
It'd be interesting to meet yourself.
Because I've always wanted a twin. I can be like, I'm your twin. So anybody who knows me knows I've always wanted a twin. Just because I think twins are awesome.
Well, in the future, you could probably have a clone, which would essentially be your twin.
That'd be fun.
But that'd probably be like more future.
I know, we'd probably be like not here for that. But yeah. Unless we're reincarnated, which I believe in. So,
but wait, if you really do, then potentially a future version of you of some sort will come back and like clone you because they will want that desire as well.
Okay.
Yay! Weird tangent. Griffin snooping around, and Vanessa's like, "Yeah, I can't tell you yet." But then we'll just jump to when they get that. Where'd that go? They bring Griffin in, and she's like, "Here, let me try to tell you." And she goes, "Fine, let me tell you what's going on." And he's like, "No, I need to stop all of this." And
I want it to be like, why chick? Like, personally, I'm like, he to get over it. Like, yeah. Just basically, I'm like, he to get over it. So I'm like, I'm sorry, Griffin, you're too creepy for me. Yeah. There's no reason for you to, especially if, like, you want her to trust you. She's asking you to trust her. Even like, I'm a little crazy right now. And he even said like their relationship has been not normal. So he should be able to accept the fact that she can't tell him right now.
It's just like, he needs to listen better, but whatever.
All men do, but we'll see.
It's all right. But speaking of being good sentiments, though, we have HG feeling guilty about bringing John because he's like, well, every time somebody dies, he personally feels guilty about it. But then they get the fun discussion that Jane brings up about what about fate and destiny in terms of like that was all meant to happen. So it's a different approach to it of like, do you have any choice in what happens to you later? Is it predetermined? Can you change it? And she kind of is like, well, maybe this was meant to happen. And that's when he has his lovely like, this was meant to happen. And but they get cock blocked by the phone beep.
Always cock blocked.
It's like, no! They're about to kiss. And it's like, no.
Why do you taunt us?
Yes.
That's all I have to ask you. Why do you taunt
You're like, no. Because that makes you want it more.
That is very true. I was just like, no.
Yes. But then let's go get the gem, and we learn interesting little backstory on Doug that he's worked with Vanessa for a very long time, and before that he was in the army, so that's cool to learn a little bit more about him, because otherwise we're like, who is this guy?
But now halfway, I'm kind of suspicious.
Of Doug?
Only because of the fact that, so if Doug's been working for her for like this amount of years.
Yeah.
And we found out that Griffin is also a war veteran. Is there a connection there in any way?
Fair enough. I was gonna say my only thought for Doug was
because he could have shoot it to capacitate and not to kill. Just saying.
Yeah, I did think that was interesting. They did do a kill shot. What was? Oh my goodness, I'm totally blanking. What is the show on Netflix where it's the
Stranger Things?
Nope.
Oh wait.
Presidential.
Oh, House of Cards.
Thank you. That one. There's a character named Doug who's kind of a bad character. So then I'm like, well, that was my only thought. Yeah. Then we get to Paul, and I wrote down gem guy. So he's our gemologist. But Chad's followed them, even though he's a bad tail. Yeah, he's so obvious in the car behind Doug that I wanted Doug to be in the rearview mirror and be like, bloop, turn it and be like, who the heck is that mofo?
For that scene, I'm just like, Doug, where were you when he busted? Like, you only heard the gunshot. You did not notice that a glass was broke.
He maybe came in a different door. Could have gone the front door.
I thought he said, I'm going to be right out front.
Yeah. In the car. I'm going to be in the car.
So was you looking down your phone at that particular time? You somehow did not hear a glass being broken?
Yeah. It's not as loud as a gunshot.
Okay.
And if the glass is on the other side of the building, but if you shot someone closer to him within the building?
Okay, I'll agree with that. I like Ivan. He's like, every time travel show should talk about paradoxes. I agree with that.
They need to at least address something, or it'll probably come up later. They'll probably talk about it. Then we get the lovely moment of Paul, and I'm like, he likes Jane. Yes, because then there's that wonderfully awkward moment where he's like, so in front of them. So you guys like a thing? And I'm like, oh, that is so...
No, and I love, he's like, I
no
doubt
skills.
that. Like, he's not, he doesn't have, I don't think he knows what he is.
But you know, you could, what you do is you ask her privately.
That is true, but...
Don't ask in front of the person that you think they're possibly with. And then it just makes you look dumb and awkward because he's like, well, I'll stop flirting. And HG's like, I doubt it. Which I was like, oh.
I was like, I loved it.
Good burn.
That was, because, like, if I was HG, I would doubt that, too. Like, even if I said we were, like, madly in love, he would still flirt with you. Just, I think, personally, just to get a reaction out of me.
Yeah. Ivan was saying that dude is very forward. Yeah, it was one of those, like, even if he's...
Doug's playing Tetris on his phone.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, because Jane points out, like, yeah, we dated and we had a few dates, so there wasn't really spark. But apparently he still liked her because he's like, yeah, there's that Coldplay concert and I thought of inviting you. And she's like, yeah, that's nice.
I know, like, you could just, like...
She's like, no.
She's definitely the one, like... Yeah. It's only a one-sided type of
no
spark.
sense of subtleties. No. But
like,
then...
no, you don't know Coldplay? They're from London.
That was a good call, though.
That
like,
was.
Be like, oh, I don't get out much. You could say something like that.
He didn't say anything. He just, I'm just going to smile and watch. Just like a little...
Smile and nod.
Like, watch this little tennis match. Because, like, he's trying to pretend like I'm not here, so I'm just going to...
He was amused by it a little bit. He's like, all right, I'm going to watch how this plays out. But he goes away. Paul goes away to go grab the other gem. And HG and Jane have their little chat where it's like, oh, I don't think he's your type and you need somebody better. And you're just like... Oh, HG, you're so cute. You're just like, oh,
he doesn't seem your type. Is all that CrossFit?
Yeah, that was a good joke. I like. Yeah, he's
even though we probably have no idea what CrossFit is.
Yeah,
but...
it's celebratory. Yeah, he's one of those. He doesn't know what it is. But of course, how convenient they have found the gem, the perfect size and everything. Okay, the one thing I really didn't like though about this next sequence is they're running away from Chad.
Right.
Constantly, HG says, "Follow me." He has never been to this building. Ever. Why on earth are you like, follow me, I know where to go? Because he does it a bunch of times. Not even just, because you could run away and not know the building, because she doesn't seem to know the building either. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe she's gone there or not, we don't really know. But he could have just been like, let's go this way. Or like, come on, let's go. Not follow me. It makes it seem like I'm like, hey, you don't know where you're going either. And he doesn't know where he's going in the building, and so he just like takes off.
I mean, like first he had like I felt like he had a pretty good destination in mind, like basically get away from the gun, and like he was. I had to give props. Like he might not have known where he was going, but he made it.
No, it was good running. I just didn't like him constantly saying "follow me," and I'm like, dude, you don't know where you're going, and I just didn't like him. I mean, I know it's in the like, hey, I'm protecting you, Jane, which I'm like, all right, fine. But
like he stood in front of her to protect from that gun. Like he wasn't gonna let that happen.
Well, if they're running and she's behind, she's gonna get shot in the back.
Yeah, no, but he was in front of her.
I know, but if the guy gets in behind them,
true.
Either way, I just didn't like the follow
She
me.
did not like it, guys.
I'm like, how do you know where to go? No, like,
she's not a fan.
not that moment. Then no, it is not the same thing. So Ivan's like, it's the same thing.
There really is no difference.
No, it is. It's one of those like, I'm not. It's there's a difference between a suggestion of like, I don't know where I'm going. Let's go this way, which you could say in far fewer words, but like this way. Come on.
Don't get me wrong. Like,
I
don't
follow
not
me
agree with her.
implies you
Trust
know
me
where
on
you're
this, guys. I don't not agree with her because it actually is a very, 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 very good point. But at that point, it's like,
and they get caught anyways, so it's not like
true.
he knew. Thank you, Kesket fan. Yeah, they get caught anyway, so it's not like his plan was brilliant. So anyway, I know that's a small random thing to be hung up on, but I was like sitting there.
I was
like,
thinking
really?
the same thing, so I can't trip. Even though like I was just happy that somehow Doug heard a gunshot,
and then Doug shoots him, and but Chase, I was all the Chad Chase.
as the interview name was Chase.
# Chad Chase.
Because actually, that was her name, the interviewer.
Oh, well, then we have Chad, and then we have Chase in the same episode.
I actually like that a female name was Chase.
As a girl, that's an interesting name.
I mean, people name their children Apple, so.
There's all kinds of names, yes. But the thing I like, though, is that Chad announces himself to them and says, like, I know who you are. I know that John's here, too, which is like, oh, good. Our team now knows, like, somebody else knows. So then that was kind of cool. Then, okay, fair enough. Charmed Original says, didn't HG know to get back through the building the way they came in? Yes, but it didn't seem like they were going back that way. At first I had a moment like, oh good, they're retracing their steps. But then I'm like, no, they were kind of going in circles and in that other room. Because otherwise I was waiting for him to go out the front door. And I'm like, nope, that's not it. Because some people are really good of like, you can remember which way you came in somewhere. But then other people are just like, I've had people exit my apartment and then they're like, did I come in from the left or the right?
I'm pretty good at that. I can actually, I'm really good at that. The only thing that bugged me about that scene, and I will tell you what bugged me about that scene.
What?
Okay, so he hits him with the cart, right?
Yes.
The gun
that was
slides out the way. That's when you kick the gun a little bit further. That way gives you even more extra time. I think that was the one thing that really bugged me. Or at least hit him twice. I think that's our like running thing. Yeah. Hit the person twice.
Also, I don't think the way he hit them with that cart would actually make him fall over that hard. Just being like,
depending on how much
ow.
force he put into it.
Yeah, but not like knock over, like almost unconscious. He was just like, ah. Like I think he would stumble and fall, not quite as knocked over. Anyway, whatever. So the random things we all notice in shows. But I know you guys notice random little things in shows too, and you go, hey, wait a minute. Or then there's the times where you don't even notice and someone brings it up and then you're like, oh, I didn't even notice that.
That's why we're watching it twice.
So then we get the John and Brooke, back to them. So Sexy Time, which was our music at the beginning of the show.
Sexy time.
Which I like that music too. It's cool. And they have the knife, but lo and behold, oh wait, where'd it go? I'm like, wait, where was my note? I wrote more. But either way, they have the syringe moment, and I'm like, what? Because John, I missed the part because I have my note here. John, and then he says I must be true to my nature. So he's like videotaping and stuff, which I'm like, you're almost doing your own sex tape there, John. But yeah, she gets him with the syringe. I did not expect that. Did any of you expect that?
I did not expect that.
So, I was like, yes, this is such a fun surprise.
I was just like, I don't know. I didn't know about the syringe. What I thought she was gonna do, maybe she knew she was gonna see the knife at the last second, do some like judo martial arts type situation there and just knock his ass out. Yeah. But the syringe was a nice surprise. I can't even trip.
I was like, what? Where? It's just one of those. It totally took you by surprise, which was refreshing because I did mention last episode. I'm like, I like the show, but I want to know where they're gonna go for the season.
Well, we kind of found out like in the preview that like his blood's getting tested, so she that's what she could come in. She takes him
to the secret little lab later too. So I mean, there's more to it, but. You know, from episode 1, you're kind of like, where's this show gonna go? But now these elements are just like, oh, it's so much more mystery and intrigue that I'm glad they've brought that in sooner rather than later.
I had to write down what a neuropathologist was because I was like, I know it has to do with the brain, but I'm just curious. So it's like a neuropathologist is a study of disease of the nervous system, usually in the form of either small surgical biopsies or whole body autopsies. So in my head. What is a neuropathologist needs DNA from a serial killer?
Oh, I think she's working with someone else. So
unless true,
yeah, so she's not working alone.
The whole neuropath could just be like something she just came up with, or it could be to figure out what makes a serial killer.
Yeah, well, that could be it too. Jared in the chat says, what if Brooke is the inspiration for Dr. Moreau? I like that. However, as I recall from Dr. Moreau, it's turning animals into human beings and dealing with humanity. So not quite, but it could be an inspiration for it. Someone meddling.
It still change the...
It's animal nature. So, okay, you can make that argument because it's the idea of they become humans, sort of, and then are they human or returning to their animal nature and doing animal things the way, but that's
because it was the way she said primal, like
yes, and then John
that's also
says,
a giveaway right there a little bit.
Back to my nature, my true nature. So maybe could be something in there. Oh no,
surgical is primal.
Yes, well, it's true of like someone alive or not. Sorry, my yes. Ivan in the chat. Yes, Dr. Moreau, from my recalling of it, one of the big parts of Island of Dr. Moreau, which semi-spoilers, but it's been out for an extremely long time, so if you guys haven't seen it, I'm like, it's been out. But yes, it's an island where there have been animals that have been turned into human beings, and Dr. Moreau is the one doing this experiment, and a scientist from England lands on the island and encounters these people. They made a movie of it in the 60s. I'm totally blanking on the guy's name. And they also made one with Val Kilmer in like the 90s, which, maybe not as good, but it was still cool.
I like this. Charmed Original says, maybe Brooke is Chad's sister and that the old woman's daughter.
I wondered that because I'm like, that's another
redheads too.
Yes, very redhead. Then we got, Vanessa, they go back to them. Paul will cooperate and just keep that all hush hush. Chad is dead because we knew he got shot, but we didn't know until she said that he was dead. Mm-hmm. So yeah, why'd you gotta do the kill shot? We don't know. They install the gemstone, everything's fixed. They bring Griffin in because he needs to see the time machine and I'm like, I am so suspicious of him. And you know what? I was right, because next scene we have with him, and I'm like, I knew it. He's like, I have access to the time machine, but somebody else knows about it. So you're like, oh, great.
So basically now we have two different sides who know about H.G. Wells, the Ripper, and the time machine.
Yes. Then we have Brooke with John as the prisoner, and we're just like, we're going to learn more. That one's very exciting. And then we got the last little fun bit, because we all want to end on a happy note in a way. We got Jane. She's like, I want in. This is dangerous, but you know what? That makes me feel alive. I want to be part of this. And you're like, okay, cute. But then they have their moment of maybe this is fate, and they finally kiss each other.
And sparks happen. Fireworks.
More ways than one, there's sparks. So that was just like dorky, kind of cute. But it was cute. It was one of those where you just like, oh, this is wonderfully cliche, but it makes me smile. You're just like, aww.
I was super happy. It was like, I've been waiting for that kiss. And like they finally
Episode 3, they kissed. Some of you who watch Timeless after show, yeah, there's no kissing going on there for a long time, if at all, for some characters. So, like this one, by episode 3, they're ready to go.
Yes, jail fans, I'm still on their jails. Yeah. We're all. I actually love that ship name so bad right now.
The what?
Gels.
Oh,
I just love that ship name. It's one of my favorites right now.
Gels? Because H.G. Wells?
And Jane.
I guess so.
I prefer that than, I don't like Wayne. You could.
I'm all, no. Okay, any other thoughts on the episode before predictions?
I'm great. How about you?
All right, let's do some predictions. Or no predictions.
Oh, no predictions.
Oh, yeah. We're having some technical stuff. So
your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Yeah.
What
was that? That was awesome.
I think that's a new thing, guys.
Yay.
I've never
heard that either.
All right. Well, on that, do you have any predictions or what you would like to see happen?
Well, I have my kiss, so that's awesome. This is going to sound so bad. I legit want somehow Brooke to get the air of her ways and get with John. Because they're just so cute and hot together. I hope that John and H.G. works together. Like, do a whole we have to save ourselves type deal.
That could be a thing, too.
Because these two groups are coming after us. We need to save ourselves.
It's the enemy.
It's not just about you or me no more.
Oh, yeah. No, it's the enemy, and my enemy is my friend. So maybe.
So that's my predictions.
They like your gels, by the way.
Yay!
I would say I think that Brooke is possibly related to Chad. it would almost be too easy to say just because they're both redheads, but that could be a possibility because I don't think Brooke's working alone. I want to know what the dealio is with Chad to Sam, which even them might not be related. Because at first I'm like, maybe they're brothers, but no.
Maybe he's adopted.
Sam could also be a caretaker for her.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That's another thing, too. We don't know, so I feel there's more there, so I want to know more about that. I'm excited they'll be doing time travel next episode. Get to see more backstory on Vanessa.
The 80s.
Yeah, Vanessa's backstory, so I'm
Those
excited for that.
Though, I'm just like...
That'll be fun.
No.
Hey, some of it was good stuff. Volume.
The clothes suck.
Volume.
No, I had to wear a wool sweater for an 80s project. Never again could that happen, because that thing was itchy. Okay? I could not... I was like, I'm relieved now. Yay, I feel normal again. How did they do that in the 80s?
I don't think they're gonna really have John totally change his nature, because it's like we're not gonna have.
Well, I don't expect him to actually.
No, but I think they could team up because we'll work together because of these outside forces. I think Griffin is working with something separate, obviously, but I wonder who's connected to the diagram that was on the note that HG left. That little like dot thing.
It still sounds like a secret brotherhood type.
Well, I wonder if that's Brooke's, the bad guy team Brooke, or bad guy team Griffin, of like who do either of them know it, because we haven't really shown it to them and be like, hey guys, do you know what this means?
Oh, what if Brooke and Griffin are working for the same group without knowing, but just different parts of a different section, so you don't know who's in what part?
It could be, but he says hey, someone else is knows about them too.
He might not know the information either.
That's
they might
true.
keep him out the dark.
I feel he's higher up on the totem pole
True.
though, that he would know.
Yeah, he's he's a war veteran. He's too type A. I have to be in charge.
Yeah, Charmed in the chat says maybe Griffin and Brooke. I'm like, no. I think Griffin and Brooke are separate. But the question is, how much do their agendas conflict with each other, or could they work together once they find out
about
who the other is? Yeah, because it's like, what is both of their purposes? All right, well, that's a lot to think about. Leave your predictions down below as well, guys, and let people know where they can find you online and what other shows you're on.
Hey guys, I'm Chae Jones. You can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Bowl on Tuesdays, not this week. Powerless, not this week. I will be starting 13 Reasons Why on Friday, starting March 31st, and I cannot wait. And I'm going to bring it back to Kari.
Woo! And you guys can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KaridLane. You can find me on Sundays on the Box Office Breakdown, where we talk about what movies came out over the weekend. Reminder, so this show, Time After Time, we're going to the 6 o'clock hour next week. Today was a special week because I'm doing an interview right after this with Kari Wahlgren, who is a voice actor, who also spells her name like me but pronounces it differently, so that'll be kind of fun. So tune into that. That's going to be on The Voice of. And then Wednesdays is Magicians, Thursdays is The Expanse, and starting in April will be The Handmaid's Tale. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, comment down below, 5 stars on iTunes, and make sure to subscribe to AfterBuzz. And we will see you all next week. See ya. Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.